Is your wife constantly nagging at you? Do you feel like your relationship is in this crazy cycle that you can't seem to break out of? Today, I'm going to explain to you why you are experiencing this crazy cycle, where nagging comes from, and how you can make your marriage a healthy, vibrant marriage that avoids the crazy cycle. So guys, why is your wife nagging? Why does she seem to disrespect you? You know, it goes all the way back to Genesis. After the fall of man, God curses Adam, he curses Eve. He tells Eve, and your desire will be for your husband. But literally in the Hebrew, it is to control your husband. So she is, by virtue of the curse, designed to control you. That control manifests in insecurity. It manifests in disrespect. It manifests in constant nagging, and it goes all the way back to the fall. And this is not a generally statement. This is for all women. It's just what they struggle with. Even after Jesus was resurrected and the Apostle Paul was building the Gentile church, he wrote to the biggest, he founded a church in Ephesus, which he lived there more than any other church. He lived there for 3 years. So this is probably a church he was closer to than any other church. He wrote the longest of the 3 household codes in the New Testament. We find one very short one in 1 Peter chapter 3. We find one in Colossians chapter 3 into early in chapter 4. And then the biggest one of all is the household code in Ephesians chapter 5, verses 22 to 33. And here's verse 33. This is the last thing Paul says. He says it to women. He says, nevertheless, each individual among you must also love his own wife as himself. That's the 4th time he tells men to love their wives. But then he says this, and a wife must see to it that she respects her husband. Now, it's interesting that in this household code of Ephesians 5, 4 times men are told to love or agape their wives. Agape love is Christ's love. It's sacrificial love. It is a decisive act of the will kind of love. So in verse 25, in verse 28a, in verse 28b, and in verse 33, he tells men to love their wives. Have you ever wondered why? Why would God tell men to love their wives 4 times and never tell wives to love their husbands? Not even once. Because as men, our default setting in life is not love. Our default setting is respect. We default to respect. We do not default to love. So God has to hammer the men 4 times and say, bro, you guys need to love your wives. Okay. No, bro. You need to love your wife. I got you. No, you don't. You need to love your wife. What, huh? Dude, you need to love. Oh, I need to love my wife? Oh, okay. But women, they default to love. He doesn't have to tell a woman to love her husband. She does that naturally. It's how she's made. She has large breasts. They're made to nurture babies. They have wider hips. They have more fat. Everything about a woman is designed to nurture and to love. They are literally wired and created by God to love. But what they are not wired by God to do is respect. Their default is love, and when they go off task, they fall into this state of disrespect. Disrespect manifests itself in nagging, in insecurity. It's just, when we see this is the curse part of the fall that our wives, our brides have to endure. Women, most of your men, if you women are listening, most of your men would rather have you respect them than love them. Isn't that weird? They would rather have you respect them than love them. Women would rather be loved than respected. So what happens is this: when a wife disrespects her husband, he withholds love from her. And that withholding of love creates insecurity and all these other things and emotions, and it creates greater disrespect. So she disrespects him because he stops loving her. And then when she continues to disrespect him, he continues to withhold love. And it's what Emerson Eggerichs in his book, Love and Respect, which is a phenomenal marriage book, calls the crazy cycle. So this goes all the way back to the fall of man. I can imagine Eve going, I can't believe you were sitting right there when I ate the apple and you didn't even tell me. You heard God tell you. I wasn't there when God told you not to eat the apple. And Adam's going, oh, woman, please. I put myself in those situations. They crack me up. But what's not funny is a marriage that is in the crazy cycle. When a man fails to sacrificially love his wife, her insecurities manifest as disrespect towards him, and he feels disrespected. He reacts by withholding love, and the crazy cycle goes on and on and on. And my question is this: who's going to be Jesus in this marriage? Who's going to step in and break the crazy cycle? When your wife is nagging you and her insecurities are flaring up because you've withheld love from her, at what point are you going to say, you know what? I am going to love her even if she never reciprocates. I am going to be Jesus in this marriage even if I never get the reciprocation. Wives, same thing. I'm going to respect him even if he never loves me. Can you imagine that step of faith to say that? Lord, I'm going to respect him even if when I say respect, I'm acknowledging that there is a positional respect and there is an earned respect. What I'm talking about here is that you are going to respect him in the way you treat him. I'm going to treat him with respect even if he never reciprocates. Now, I know that's very hard for some of you to listen to because we're going all the way back to the fall now and the curse that God placed on you to desire or control your husband. And for you to say, God, I'm going to trust you with my husband is probably the greatest faith step you've ever taken since giving your life to Jesus. Men, same thing. I'm going to love her. I know that my marriage changed in 1995 when I decided to outlove and outserve my wife. But the more difficult thing for me was even if she never reciprocates. So who will break the crazy cycle? Who will be Jesus in this relationship? If you are stuck in the crazy cycle, please go listen to my episode with Emerson Eggerichs. It is outstanding. Pick up his book, Love and Respect. Guys, pick up my book, Dialed In, where I spend a whole chapter specifically helping you love your brides better. And until next time, feel the wet sand on the arena floor. Hear the deafening roar of the crowd. Taste the sweetness of victory. Smell the stench of battle. Get in the game. Get dirty. Grind it out. Be Jesus in your marriage and be a man.